You're sitting alone right now. Maybe not physically. Maybe you're in a room full of people. A group chat with 100 names. A church pew packed shoulder to shoulder. But inside, you're alone. And you've asked God the question you're almost ashamed to say out loud. If you love me, why do I feel so forgotten? Here's what nobody told you. That loneliness you're carrying, it's not a mistake. It's not God looking away. It might be the very thing God is using to save your soul. Today, I'm going to show you 5 reasons God allows loneliness. Reasons hidden in Scripture, tested by men and women who felt exactly what you feel tonight. By the end of this, you won't just understand your loneliness. You'll know what to do with it. Let's go. Reason 1. God uses loneliness to draw you nearer. Here's the truth you need to hear first. Loneliness is often the sound of God clearing the room. Look at Elijah. He just won the greatest victory of his life. Fire fell from heaven, false prophets defeated, and days later he's alone under a tree, begging God to let him die. I alone am left. That's what he told God. And God didn't scold him. God didn't rush to fix him. God fed him, let him sleep, then met him, not in the fire, not in the wind, not in the earthquake, but in a whisper, in the silence. That's the pattern. God doesn't always shout over the noise in your life. Sometimes he waits for the noise to leave. Your friends went quiet. Your phone stopped buzzing. That relationship ended. That season closed. Painful? Yes. But maybe, just maybe, God emptied the room because he wanted the seat next to you. So here's what I want you to do today. Set a timer. 10 minutes. No music, no scrolling, no noise. Just say, God, I'm here. I'm listening. Don't perform a prayer. Just sit in the quiet and let him meet you there, the way he met Elijah. Reason 2. Loneliness builds dependence, not independence. Your flesh wants people. Your spirit needs God. And sometimes God removes the people so your spirit can finally breathe. Think about David, hiding in caves for years, hunted by Saul, betrayed by men he trusted. Read Psalm 142. He wrote it when he was in the cave. No one is concerned for me. No refuge remains to me. No one cares for my soul. That's not a man pretending to be fine. That's raw honesty before God. But watch what David does next in that same psalm. I cry to you, O Lord. I say, you are my refuge. David didn't get strong because people surrounded him. David got strong because people left and God was all that remained. Here's the hard truth. If you always have someone to lean on, you'll never learn to lean on God. Loneliness strips away your backup plan. It forces your hands open toward heaven because there's nothing else left to hold. That's not cruelty. That's training. Here's your step for today. Write down one thing you've been asking a person to carry that you should be bringing to God, a fear, a decision, a wound. Then pray it to him directly, out loud, by name. Today, not someday. Reason 3. Loneliness prepares you for deeper relationships. This one might surprise you. God doesn't isolate you to keep you alone forever. He isolates you to heal what's broken in you. So the next relationship isn't built on the same cracks as the last one. Look at Joseph, sold by his own brothers, alone in a foreign land, falsely accused, forgotten in a prison for years. Genesis doesn't hide it. Joseph wept more than once when he finally saw his family again. That pain was real. But by the time Joseph stood before his brothers as ruler of Egypt, he wasn't the same bitter, wounded boy they threw in a pit. Years of loneliness had carved humility, patience, and forgiveness into him. So when reunion finally came, he could say, you meant evil against me, but God meant it for good. If Joseph had never been alone, he never would have been ready to love the very brothers who betrayed him. Your loneliness right now isn't just an ending. It might be preparation for a relationship, a marriage, a friendship, a ministry that your old self wasn't ready to carry. God is not just filling time. He is forming you. So try this today. Ask yourself honestly, what wound am I still carrying from my last relationship or friendship? Name it before God. Ask him to heal it now. Not so you can rush into the next thing, but so you're actually ready when it comes. Reason 4. Loneliness is where calling is formed. Every man and woman God used mightily in Scripture had a wilderness season first. Moses, 40 years alone in the desert before the burning bush. John the Baptist, raised in the wilderness, alone, before he ever preached a sermon. And Jesus himself, led by the Spirit into the wilderness. Alone. 40 days. No crowd. Just him, the Father, and the enemy trying to break him. Notice the order. The wilderness came before the ministry, not after. Your calling isn't formed in the noise of a crowd. It's formed in the silence where no one is watching but God. If you're lonely right now, maybe it's not because your life is stalled. Maybe it's because God is doing the deep work in private that he'll one day display in public. Don't waste this season begging for it to end. Ask what God is building in you while no one else is around to see it. Here's what I want you to do. Take 5 minutes and ask God one question. What are you forming in me right now that I can't see yet? Then write down whatever comes to mind, even if it feels small. That might be the first line of your calling. Reason 5. Loneliness reminds you that heaven is home. Here's the reason underneath all the others. You are never meant to be fully satisfied here. If you find in yourself a desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that you were made for another world. Loneliness is often that ache, a homesickness for a place you haven't even seen yet. Paul understood this. In his final letter, 2 Timothy 4 verse 16, he wrote, "At my first offense no one came to stand by me, but all deserted me, but the Lord stood by me." Paul was abandoned by nearly everyone, and still he could write with confidence about the crown of righteousness waiting for him, and for all who have loved his appearing. Your loneliness is not proof that you've been forgotten. It's proof that this world was never supposed to be enough. Every ache for connection you feel is a whisper pointing you toward the place where you'll never feel alone again, where God himself will wipe away every tear. So here's your last step for today. When the ache hits tonight, don't numb it. Don't scroll past it. Say this instead. Lord, this ache is a signpost. Point me home. Let the loneliness do its job, pointing you upward, not just inward. So here's where we land. Your loneliness is not a punishment. It's not proof you're unloved, unseen, or forgotten. It might be the very tool God is using to draw you nearer, to build your dependence on him, to heal you for deeper relationships, to form your calling in secret, and to remind you that this world was never your final home. So don't run from it anymore. Don't numb it with noise. Don't fill it with the wrong people just to escape the silence. Sit in it. Let God meet you there. Pray this with me right now, wherever you are. Do the 5 things I gave you today, even just one of them, because your loneliness isn't the end of your story. It might be exactly where God writes the best part.